Can you talk about your new role with Ironman and why you're here at St. George?
Yeah, well, WTC approached me about being an ambassador, and it's something I thought a lot about, to be honest. Even before they approached me, I think my role will be over and above sort of just promotional and media opportunities. I'm sort of flattered that they ask my feedback on a lot of things with the future direction of the sport, and I feel I've got a lot to offer because I've been a professional for a long time, raced all over the world, and the sport owes me nothing. I always say that. I feel I owe it a lot. It's given me a great lifestyle, a great career, a lot of great friends. And in amongst all that journey, I think you accumulate a lot of knowledge and things that you see done well and maybe not done so well. And yeah, so it's a role. It's not just promotional and media sort of opportunities. It's a lot to do with the future direction, hopefully, of a lot of races and the logistics and the athlete experience. So I'm very excited and I was flattered that they asked me.
So when we talked to you after Kona last year, you had a lot of question marks coming into this year. Have you thought any more about that? What's ahead for 2013?
It's full steam ahead for this year. I always have question marks, win or lose, because I think it's inevitable at a certain point in life. The focus is not all about triathlon, and it can't be when you're a dad. Any parent will tell you that. So, when the dust settled, and it was disappointing too. Obviously, it was an emotional time. I sucked in Kona, for want of a better expression. I let myself down by not doing the little things that I've always done well, and I got what I deserved. So, I was very proud of my record heading in. I'd never finished worse than fourth place there, and I still finished 12th, so it was no disgrace. I battled on, did the best I could, but I was extremely disappointed, particularly after getting a silver medal in Vegas, just a month before. I felt the form was where it needed to be. But like all things, we went home to Australia and just settled back into our lives, and Lucy went back to school, and it was probably November or December. Neri and I just talked about what we were going to do this year, and I still love to race. I mean, for me, that's the issue is never whether I want to do it or not. I always want to do it. I love to do it. I'm still motivated to train. I think I can still compete at the highest level. I think the most important factor, though, is doing it the way I want to do it, which is the right way, I think. And if that means compromising other things, then I'm probably not willing to do that anymore. And by that I mean family. They've sacrificed so much. I'm not willing to sort of compromise on things like Lucy's school and other things. And, Neri was adamant we could do it again, and that's all I needed. So I committed to another year. And I planned the season tentatively. Obviously, Neri was pregnant with our third on the way, which she's now arrived, little Lani. But, in January, there were still a few question marks about whether we would base in Boulder and what Ironman to validate with. I always liked the idea of Melbourne for a lot of reasons. It's close to home. I mean, I rarely get to race a massive race like that at home. It's a big race in a huge media market. Melbourne's sort of the sporting capital of Australia, almost the world. They've got Formula One races down there, Australian Tennis Open, major golf tournaments, and I think it's a huge coup for our sport to get that event. So, I'd like to race there. I think it's part of my responsibility to help support and get new races up, particularly in my home country. So, and I had such a good racer and a great experience there last year. I wanted to go back. So mid-January we decided Melbourne was the way to go, and then started planning the rest of the year. So at present the year looks like I'll be racing June 1 in Honu, June 9 in Kansas, contemplating mid-July. I'm definitely racing mid-July. I think I'm going to go back out to Viaman. I haven't been out there for 4 or 5 years, so it's a great race. I love the race out there. And then Vegas and Kona again. So, I feel if you're going to race at the highest level and race the best people, then you do the biggest races. I mean, that's the only reason. That's what floats my boat. I want to race against Sebastian and 70.3s and Andy and T.O. and all those guys, Doherty, and I want to race the Ray Alerts and Kinley and Bev in Kona there. Yeah, that's what excites me, racing those sorts of athletes, the best guys in the world, and trying to push myself and improve as an athlete. So, the commitment to race was never about just going through the motions at backwater races. It was about, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it the way I like to do it, and go to the big races against the good guys.